It's round 3 of GPG, and Splashcat and CanterburyEgg are playing each other. Splashcat's on Sultai Heart Attack, and CanterburyEgg's is Canterbury, not Canterbury. CanterburyEgg's on Blue Red Dragons. So we'll see what game is. I'm really not sure who's favored in this matchup at all. I don't really have much experience with dragons. I don't really know if it's aggro mid-range. It's running it's running Devonport, which probably means it's more of an aggro deck. But Heart Attack can pretty easily beat aggro decks on good draws, so I don't say anyone's favored. It's anyone's game. Or maybe I'm completely wrong because I haven't been playing MSEM for too long, so who knows. Oh, Dragon's Breath Throat Singer into Marcus Devonport is a pretty good hand, and if you can draw a 3-drop, this just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's really good. So, yep, CanterburyEgg's keeping. Splashcat has this hand, 2 lands. This would probably fetch an island. You have Exant for removal, Portal Fracture for counter spells, Pithwell and Biohazard for even more removal. And wow, why is that card so big? CanterburyEgg has an opening hand action. Ash of the Winged Steed, yep. Ash goes in for, looks like the 4-drop, Scourge of the Mountains. Intrepid also can find Heart in Splashcat's hand. So this is just turn 1 Throat Singer, turn 2 the Marcus Devonport, turn 3 Ash of the Winged Steed. This just you have your first plans turned out. It's nice. Okay, Dragon's Breath Throat Singer, turn 1, uses Wayfarer Shrine to get a mountain. Splashcat draws Portal Fracture. They probably might just Exant, or yeah, plays this tapped. I think they do want to fetch this for blue, so I can't really afford to fetch this for black just to Exant this when they can do it later and it still works just fine. And here they get hit for 4, down to 3. Marcus Devonport hits Egg for 2, draws a Scorch too, which can... There's not really much to remove, so it's probably just going to be used for direct damage. Splashcat accidentally draws an extra card. I think this is just a draw and do then shuffle. But, yep. Egg confirms that. But now they have Portal Fracture, Exant, and Pithwell top. And next turn they can fetch Heart if they really want to. Okay. Splashcat plays that. That's just going to fetch an island, probably. And then it just Portal Fractures Ash, probably. Maybe not. Maybe it Pithwell's Devonport. Or even Dragon's Breath Throat Singer. This Dragon's Breath Throat Singer is not growing because none of these are actually dragons. It's played all the dragon support cards, but none of the actual dragons. But they do it as dragon for turn 4. What's the backside of this do? Gives it +4/+3 in flying, and then you can pay 2 red as it attacks, deal damage equal to its power to target creature, planeswalker. Let's do some work. Splashcat's already down to 12. CanterburyEgg's gonna fetch, probably play Ash. Something to note is that they do not actually, CanterburyEgg does not actually have the third color of mana source in their deck to be able to transform Marcus Devonport. So, am I pronouncing it wrong? Devonport? I guess Devonport is probably correct. That makes more sense. Splashcat draws a forest. Maybe plays Intrepid. Probably just leaves up. Exile Portal Fracture. Or, yeah, plays Intrepid, it looks like. Probably gets Heart. And then Heart next turn is mana neutral, but the turn after that, turn 5, it starts becoming mana positive, so there's something to take note of, which will mean this Biohazard starts to become actually a board clear instead of just 1. Destroy mana value 1 or less. There's Kamada, Ruby Ascendant, which is really good in this Dragon's deck because, well, you can see it reduces them by 2, which means that CanterburyEgg can play Prince of Stars next turn, which will then cascade them into everything. Here, I think Splashcat, I don't know what they do. They're down to 4. They need to Exhunt plus Pithwilt, probably. Pithwilt. I wonder what you do. But then I think they're dead no matter what. I guess they do Wanderlust, which does actually let them survive. Because what happens is if they Exhunt and Pithwilt, they get to kill one of these, let's just say these two, right? So then what they have is now, thing is, Pithwilt requires black, which means they aren't actually able to play it, which means they're dead. So yeah, Splashcat's dead. Unless CanterburyEgg doesn't see the line, but you just all out attack and scorch their face. It's not super complicated. Okay, Scotting for League. Scourge of the Mountains, yep. That also works. That makes it even more lethal. I think Splashcat has to Portal Fracture this. And then Egg just doesn't pay attacks and scorches. Because now the Dragon Breath Throat Singer is a 3/4. Which means Splashcat needs to then Portal Fracture this, Exhunt, and then they still die. Yeah. Splashcat concedes. I think when you just get to such a low life total super fast, even with like these kind of control rampy decks, you can't really get out of it because aggro just beats you down. Wow, I know, I'm so crazy. Aggro has a good matchup into control? What? Who would have thought? Right, that was game 1. That was pretty fast. Sideboarding, I wonder what's in their sideboards. Let me look. I'm pretty sure Stand Unassailable should be in Splashcat sideboard, which will definitely help. If it is. Maybe it's not. Yeah, Stand Unassailable is. Also Singularity's Grasp will be very good. Celestial Banishment, probably not very useful. And in Egg's sideboard, there's Moment of Tranquility, which is actually good against control. Once Guard, which deals damage to blue permanents. Imperial Siege, which will be very useful against Heart. Judgment of Sultai, which is not going to be useful. So, this is 2 Imperial Sieges, and also a Yoga Dragon Soul. I think this is a keep for CanterburyEgg. They also get Ash, which means they can swap out one of the sieges. For Splashcat, they have 3 lands, Intrepid, which will get them Heart or Recall Forgotten Aeons just to help them ramp, and 2 counterspells and Reconsider. So, good hands for both players. At least I consider them good hands. I don't play these decks, so I could be completely wrong on everything I'm saying. But yeah, just tap flooded depths for Splashcat, passes to Egg. Untap, upkeep, draw. This goes Mountain, Yoga, Dragon Soul probably. Yep. Yoga, Dragon Soul, which on turn 2, I don't know if you probably save Imperial Siege for Heart. So, Corrupted Memory. I guess that's also a good sideboard card. You can glitch 1, but the glitching just hits Ash. And if they don't glitch at all, it hits Imp Siege. They probably just reconsider the next turn, Recall Forgotten Aeons. Maybe not. Maybe they want to Corrupted Memory and then leave up Reconsider next turn. And they're both completely reasonable. Prince of Stars is only 4 mana. This is only 3 because of Yoga Dragon Soul. And Splashcat doesn't have any removal right now, so they're going to stay like that. It looks like Ash could also be played turn 3 to make these way cheaper. This will only be 2 mana, this 3. So turn 3 you play Ash, turn 4 you go, I don't know what you do, probably some combination of this and maybe something else, maybe something else. And then turn 5 you just go off. You probably want to play Prince of Stars as early as possible. This deck, just to cascade. You do so much. Okay, Reconsider counters the Imperial Siege. Probably just RFE here. Maybe you play Intrepid to get Heart. There's also, you can also Corrupted Memory, leave up Reconsider. But you only hit non-creature, non-land cards with mana value 3 or less. It's with how you'd have to do that to leave up Reconsider. So it's probably best to just RFE or Intrepid. I don't know, I feel like I don't remember any of the other Dark Seas of Shirin ships. Is this Dark Seas of Shirin or just something completely different? I forget what set these were in, but like there was a cycle, right, of the first mates, and these are the ships, but this is the only one I've actually seen at all. It just passes RFEs like I thought. Draws a Sinkhole though. Okay. Just plays out the land, attacks with Yoga Dragon Soul, probably just either Ash, Ash or Scourge of the Mountains here. Not sure. Yep, it's Ash, which means Prince of Stars probably comes out next turn. But wait, never mind. Yeah, wait, yes, because Ash gets countered, they'll try Prince of Stars next turn, probably. Unless I'm being... I completely forgot that they had Splashcat had Cosmic Sinkhole up. There's another RFE, and they can, if they draw land, RFE. If they draw land, they can RFE into keep leaving up Reconsider. I think that's what they're doing. Oh, they're playing Intrepid. I guess Intrepid guarantees lets them leave up Consider and also gets them Heart. Well, that's probably the better play now that I think about it. And you can also Prying Inquiry too. hit Prince of Stars. No, then they still get Scourge of the Mountains. And you'd probably rather hit Prince of Stars and have Scourge of the Mountains be next turn, and then you can still Prying Inquiry that. So it's probably better to just leave up Reconsider. Though I can see Egg's hand. There's Moment of Tranquility, which would save Scourge of the Mountains if it got countered, but not Prince of Stars. And Wanderlust does exist, so Wanderlust is on, so Intrepid can just become a 4/4 and block Myoga, which is relevant. I think Egg probably plays Scourge of the Mountains instead of Prince of Stars, or maybe they play Prince of Stars because then they get a 2-for-1 because of Cascade. So even if it gets countered, yep, it's Prince of Stars. Cascade. Looks like. Okay. It's Dragon's Breath Throat Singer. Off Cascade. So, 4-mana Dragon's Breath Throat Singer discard a counter spell isn't too bad. The next turn they have Scourge of the Mountains and protection from counter spells, but there aren't any counter spells. There's Exeunt, but yeah. Splashcat makes mana from Heart, makes black mana. Prying Inquiries. I think they take Scourge of the Mountains. Moment of Tranquility doesn't really matter if there's no spell worth protecting. Yep, they take Scourge of the Mountains and make a clue. They still have 3 mana floating. They probably cracked a clue in Exeunt. Maybe not. Maybe they corrupted Memory. I don't think you do that. None of these cards, neither of them are very good. There's Portal Fracture, but sadly you can't. They don't have enough mana to play that. I'd say sadly, like I'm taking a side. Okay. They don't have enough mana to play that. Corrupted Memory hits both of the cards in their hand on one. And then you can still leave up Exeunt. But I don't think you even want to Corrupted Memory. I guess it's just nice to discard though. And Moment is annoying. Scorch does almost nothing at all. So you just leave that there. And then you can also RFE. Use Heart to make like green. Use blue, play 2 lands, leave up Portal Fracture. And then also have access to a bunch of mana. Or maybe not even Heart, just RFE, play 2 lands, activate Heart, and just have a bunch of mana. The Heart is actually mana neutral right now. I think they actually misplayed Heart there, because there's only 4 different named lands. I guess it's too late, I'm not sure. There's only 4 different... Oh wait, I'm stupid. Yeah, these arts look the same from this perspective. Yeah, and the other Mermaid Falls I like more too. And is that the one with the map frame? I'll put a picture up on screen later. I'm just looking it up on my phone right now. Yeah, pretty much all the other arts I like more than this one. So, I'm not sure which one they're talking about, but I think it's the mana pool one they're talking about. Which also can come in a map frame if you're feeling like that. I really like the map frames, but some people don't. Shifting Glade. It's another land. I think Splashcat is in definitely a very winning position right now. It can't really land this Prince of Stars safely because of Portal Fracture and Sinkhole. And also RFE is on board now. I wonder if maybe there are any cheap revelations, like that have cheap coalesce costs. Probably not, but that'd be interesting ideas so that you get like the front side and then you can play as a horror. Maybe in a horror deck that could work. But there's Prince of Stars protected against Sinkhole, which is probably the aim. And Prince of Stars can just take over a game if you keep drawing dragons. There's Omnis Dragon Caller, which I think they probably just use the adventure side of this. Okay, plays the normal side. I guess Dragon's Breath Throathinger can easily look for other dragons for Prince of Stars to cascade with. So, if Splashcat doesn't draw some removal soon, they're probably in trouble because Prince of Stars just easily takes over the games. RFE is 5/6, which doesn't have flying or reach, which means it can't block these two. Intrepid does have flying though, which means CanterburyEgg can't really afford to attack at all, because if they do, Prince of Stars gets blocked by Intrepid. I guess Omnis Dragon Color does make it through. It's a 4/3 with flying. There's another RFE. Heart makes blue mana. There's Gate of Realms, which can find, I'm not sure what it finds, but it can start dishing out damage with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this ability only costs 3 mana to activate now. There's Monument of Queens, which will start getting in for a bunch of damage. Gate of Realms ability costs 2 mana to activate, and now it can kill Dragon Caller or Throat Singer. Yep. RFE gives them an extra land drop, so they get to do that. And can they flashback RFE? 1, 2, no they can't. 7 to coalesce, but they only have 5. Probably just, I don't know, Prying Inquiry, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a hard attack player, don't ask me how to play this deck. Probably just use Gate of Realms to blow up Dragon Caller, and then leave up your interaction. Gate of Realms, yeah, hits Dragon Caller. And looks like they're just gonna Pithwelt, Dragon's Breath, Throat Singer, which means CanterburyEgg's gonna have to draw a dragon naturally for this Prince of Stars to do its thing. Yep. Egg concedes. We go to game 3. So it's been an interesting match so far, so we'll see what happens game 3. Will anyone get out aggroed or out controlled like games 1 and 2? So yeah, here are the hands. There's Flint Study, which is something we didn't see before, but it's getting mulligans because no blue source. 2 Prince of Stars, 2 Devonports, 1 Ash. This is a... I'm not sure about this hand. Splashcat keeps another good hand. Which is double prying inquiry, Exxon's Pithwell, and Intrepid to get heart. Okay, Ash, Devonport, and double Prince of Stars on Egg side, Flood Depths, Grimbastion. Sorry, 2 shock Flood Depths, Grimbastion, Exxon, double prying inquiry, and Pithwell and Intrepid on Splashcat's side. Also, Wayfarer's Stride now. That's probably just gonna fetch black for Exxon, Prying Inquiry, Pithwell. Pretty much all their cards in hand are black. Probably just, yeah, plays this, plays out Mark's Devonport. Then goes for Ash next turn. Okay, looks like an Exxon. This card, like, I just love how this card looks. It just gives great vibes, you know? Just gives the feeling of, you know, an edict. Each player sacks a creature, everything's ending. And also the curtain makes it really feel like Exxon, I don't know. Because that's like Shakespeare. And this Prying Inquiry. Hits Ash. I don't know why Egg Borden is readout in the main deck. I wouldn't think so. Maybe it is. With how many colored sources, not sourcage. With how many colored sources they have in their deck. Let's see. No, readout is one of in the main deck, one of in the sideboard. So yeah, there is one in the main deck. Intrepid gets heart. And now, back to Egg, and they don't draw land, which means... I'm not sure what they do. Missing lands. They can get, the 1-drop. The one that reduces your dragons by 1. Is that a dragon? I think it isn't. I'm going to go see, because I can't remember anything. Yoga Dragon Soul is a human shaman. So, looks like the best dragon would probably be Kamada, which reduces your dragons by red. Your first dragon. But that just gets Prying Inquiry, so there's not much you can do. Pithwell also can just kill Kamada. It only has ward pay 3 life. Stand unassailable means it can't just aggro out Splashcat. And then Heart's gonna get online and make a ton of mana and pretty much make an insurmountable advantage. Once Heart starts getting like 3+ mana positive, you just die pretty much. You have no chance. Or maybe you do if you get really lucky. I haven't played against Heart Attack much, so don't take my word as too much. This is just from watching games. I'm not actually playing against Heart Attack. It's back to Splashcat. They draw. It's a blue-black shock fetch. I'm not sure if you just play Heart. Yep, playing Heart always usually works out. Maybe you save it for a later turn so it doesn't get blown up by Imp Siege, but it doesn't matter too much. Well, it does matter if your Heart gets blown up, but once you get to the late enough game with a lot of lands, the mana advantage by Heart will be a lot. But you still will usually have more mana than your opponent, and that still matters because you're a control deck, you're also control ramp, I guess. And you're just trying to outvalue your opponent usually. So once you get that more amount of lands than your opponent, because you will draw more because you have more in your deck usually, I'm pretty sure. Because this is a lands deck. There should be more lands in it than an aggro deck. 23 lands in Egg's deck. And 24 in Splashcat's deck. So more lands, but only by one, so not very conclusive. And this Intrepid is a 3-turn clock. There's a land for Prince of Stars, but it doesn't help much right now because Prince is 5. Another land. Prying Inquiry hits Prince of Stars and leaves Egg without much to do at all. And also with a 3-turn clock. This game is pretty much over now. Prince of Stars goes away. Clue comes back. Clue comes back, and Clue's created. Intrepid just attacks in. Now, Egg's down to 8. That's now a 2-turn clock. And Stand Unassailable, I think, just makes the Splashcat impossible to kill. I'm not sure. I guess they could draw a flyer that blocks. Dragon's Breath, Throat Singer definitely helps with card selection. This is pretty much just a race of who can draw the better card first. It looks like it's not going to be Splashcat yet, and they just drew another shock fetch. But there's a Delve for treasures, which, no, they didn't draw a shock fetch. They had a shock fetch already, and they cracked it. Never mind. Intrepid attacks them down to 4. Delve for treasures is just going to be used on end step probably to find. Yeah, Egg draws nothing. They can Throat Singer. Discards the Moment of Tranquility, draws Scourge of the Mountains, which does block Intrepid. So, not dead. Okay. Scourge of the Mountains happened. Delve for treasures. Looks like looking for a counter spell. Yep. Get to dig 8 cards deep for Reconsider, Portal Fracture, all that kind of stuff. Even Cosmic Sinkhole works. Yep, there's a Portal Fracture, which means, yeah, good games. Well, those were some good games. Splashcat ended up winning with Sultai Heart Attack over Izzet Dragons on, or sorry, CanterburyEgg on Izzet Dragons.